All right, now on 10 News this morning, gearing up for the Rock and Roll Marathon.
We're live at the start line with everything you need to know, from road closures to the stars of the show.
And right now, San Diego police searching for this elderly man with dementia who wandered away from his nursing home in Serra Mesa.
Live from the Scripps Studios, this is San Diego's news source, 10 News.
Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, June 1st, and we're just minutes away from the start of the Rock and Roll Half Marathon. I'm Maria Arcega-Dunn.
And I'm Dan Haggerty. Thanks for joining us. 30,000 runners from nearly 40 different countries have flooded San Diego. We got everything you need to know, how to participate, even the roads that you should probably avoid today. But first, let's go to Ashlee DeMartino. And hey, that haze has been really sticking around. How's weather going to be for the start of the race?
Hey, well, things are still going to be cloudy. Still going to see that haze that's going to be out there for runners. We know our current temperatures are sitting in the low 60s for most areas. By the time that we wrap things up, we'll see a bit more sunshine out there and just some scattered clouds. And of course, temperatures will be in the upper 60s at that point. Now, for the rest of us throughout the day today, we do know we've got the clouds really hugging the coast right now. We should see mostly sunny skies through the rest of the morning. Winds will be out of the west. 74 degrees is what we'll get to as a high for today. Inland, we are going to see mostly clear conditions by the time that we head into about 9 o'clock this morning. All that sunshine means temperatures will warm this afternoon. 84 degrees is what we can expect. That's above our seasonal average of 78 for our inland valleys this time of year. And temperatures stay nice and warm throughout the rest of the week, even though we have some minor changes for Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll talk about that coming up in your 7-day forecast.
All right, Ashley. Well, thousands of runners are gearing up for the big Rock and Roll Marathon, which starts in just over an hour. 10 News reporter Hannah Mullins live at Quince and 6th Avenue in Balboa Park. And Hannah, there's a pretty wide range of reasons that people are doing this today.
You are certainly right. They're stretching right now. I want to show you this group. There's a group of challenged athletes right here from the Achilles Freedom Team. Most are veterans. Others are lining up behind them. If we can actually go to the left right here, there's a woman who's a 91-year-old cancer survivor. She is going to be racing a lot of different people with different reasons. I'm actually joined by Darren Weissman, who's known as Dr. Dribble. You see that right there on your chest. Tell us, what will you be doing today?
Well, today I'll be running the half marathon, dribbling both these basketballs, all for a great cause. I do basketball clinics with underprivileged kids, donate basketballs to all of the children, and that's what I'm here to do, is to raise money and entertain people along the way and have fun.
And you're sort of a star. You also have a record.
Yes, I have a Guinness World Record for running the fastest marathon while dribbling 2 basketballs, and it's all in good spirits and trying to inspire runners, give them that second wind, fresh legs, and inspiration whenever they need it and they feel like, they just can't take another step forward. I'm here to put a smile on their face.
All right, well, show us your skills. See a lot of different reasons to be out here. They all seem to be having fun with it. Our challenge athlete group is about to take off. The race starts here, though, in 15 minutes. The half marathon starts at 6:45. It ends by Petco Park. It will certainly do a number on traffic, though. The 163 northbound will be closed from A Street to Friars. You can find all other closures and traffic-related information on 10news.com. Just click on the red TV button. We're live at Balboa Park. Hannah Mullins, 10 News.
Yeah, she's finding some characters out there. I'd have a hard enough time just
running
it alone. Yeah, as dribbling basketballs the whole way. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, another ambitious runner competing downtown today. And he's not just stopping at the finish line. The other athletic event he's competing in right after the race. Also, if you're down there snapping some photos before, during, after the race today, we want to see them. Send them in to us. You can send them to pictures@10news.com.
Just after 6 o'clock this morning, we're following some major news out of the Midtown area, where a porta potty fell from a moving truck and then landed on a car, cracking its windshield. Now, one driver crashed into this Spanky's porta potty on the northbound 5. It happened just after 1 o'clock this morning near Laurel Street, and you can see the damage that was done to her car. Luckily, nobody was injured in that accident.
The search is on for a 74-year-old man with dementia who walked away from his nursing home. Richard Newsom left the Lifehouse San Diego Healthcare Center around 10:30 yesterday morning. You see him there. He had no money, no cell phone, just really the clothes on his back. His family said Richard had only been there for about a week. He was supposed to be in a secured area because of his condition.
My bigger concern is that they had a dementia patient who was not in a locked facility. He was in the rehab wing of the facility, and I know that they had plans eventually to move him when they could. I'm very concerned about negligence on their part.
And you hear the accusations there from the family. We went to the Lifehouse, asked them some questions, talked to a nurse. They had no information for us, only that a search was underway.
Well, new this morning, police in France have arrested the man who they say opened fire at a Jewish museum in Brussels last weekend. Now, investigators say that the man has been handed over to anti-terrorist investigators after he was arrested on Friday. Now, police found him during a customs inspection at a train station in Marseille. Now, this surveillance video shows the suspected shooter approaching the building, opening fire, and then walking away. Now, police say he used an AK-47 assault rifle. 4 people were killed in that incident.
Now to a developing story. The American POW whose face was seen on these billboards plastered around San Diego, well, he's now on his way home after being held captive by the Taliban for nearly 5 years. 28-year-old Sergeant Bo Bergdahl was picked up yesterday by the U.S. Special Forces. 10 News reporter Riel Creighton has the new details about his emotional trip home.
Release me, please. I'm begging you.
Sergeant Bo Bergdahl's plea has been answered. After 5 years, the only American prisoner in Afghanistan is now on his way home. U.S. Special Forces picked up Bergdahl by helicopter from his Taliban captors in the middle of the night along the Afghanistan-Pakistan border. They told him, "We've been looking for you for a long time." Bergdahl broke down in tears. Officials say he was released in a 3-party prisoner exchange. 1 American for 5 Afghan Taliban prisoners being detained at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. America's Mideast ally Qatar acted as a mediator in the secret negotiations so the U.S. did not deal directly with the Taliban. The 5 Afghans will not be allowed to leave Qatar for at least 1 year.
He wasn't forgotten by his community in Idaho or the military, and he wasn't forgotten by his country.
Bergdahl's family got a call from President Obama and later joined him in the Rose Garden.
I just want to say thank you to everyone who has supported Bo.
I'd like to say to Bo right now, who's having trouble speaking English, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Zayabayem. I'm your father, Bo.
Back in Idaho, Bergdahl's hometown is preparing to celebrate their son's return.
The community has not wavered in its commitment to get him free. I think everybody either burst into tears or couldn't get a silly grin off their faces.
Riel Creighton, 10 News.
Wow, a long time coming there. Officials say Bergdahl was transferred to an American base in Afghanistan for medical evaluations. He will then be sent to Germany for additional care before eventually returning home to the U.S.
Well, a wild shooting spree ended with a police officer and a teen dead in Virginia.
And it was just bam, 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 right after another.
Police say this man, 29-year-old James Brown, was shooting randomly in a Norfolk neighborhood when he killed a 17-year-old boy yesterday. They say he then opened fire on 2 officers, killing 1 before leading police on a high-speed chase. He crashed that car and then tried to fight with officers. He was shot and died at the scene.
A live look now at Lindbergh Field, where an electrical system in Terminal 2 had to be fixed after it tripped the sprinklers inside. Firefighters responded to the airport just after 7 last night. Travelers had to be evacuated. This morning, though, Lindbergh Field tells 10 News the problem has been fixed.
Well, the Atlantic hurricane season officially begins today. And this year, the experts will be testing some new ways to improve their forecasts. For the first time, they'll be dropping small drones into storms in the hope that they can learn more about how these storms strengthen and better predict their intensity. Researchers at NOAA plan to test 5 or 6 drones in the peak of the hurricane season. And new this morning, we're getting a look at the names of possible storms this year. The first name on the list, Arthur, followed by Bertha and Cristobal. And you know, I actually did a story on NOAA's plan to put those drones in the middle of all of those hurricanes. And it's amazing, like, the kind of information that they're going to be able to get just from those things being inside. You know, it's amazing.
The drones definitely changing everything. You know, they're expecting it to be a very active hurricane season. When we were talking about the names earlier, we know Category 1, Danny.
1997.
1997. 2011, a Hurricane Maria, Category 1. The name Ashlee has never in the history been used. It's not even on the list of consideration.
What?
So I'm not going to get a hurricane.
You may.
You
Never say never.
Trust me, you don't want one.
I don't want one. All right, good morning, everyone. We're dealing with the low marine clouds that are out there for us this morning. The 10 News Pinpoint Skycam from Mount Woodson looking towards the southwest really shows you where it's kind of stopping and just how thick and low they are for us this morning. Western valleys are seeing them dropping. And then, of course, our coastal region that's out there with the patchy fog that's very light and some haze that's out there as well. All of this is going to be lifting out as we head into our morning hours, especially around sunrise. wise, we'll get rid of a lot of that haze and just be dealing with the clouds. Temperature wise, 64 in San Diego, 60 in Oceanside right now, 55 in Poway, 46 at the Ramona Airport, 59 for Alpine, and 62 for you right now in Julian. Light breeze out there for this morning. West winds will pick up heading into the afternoon, so that means that sea breeze really kicks in for us. What we have is we're keeping the storm systems far to the north, very slow moving area of low pressure that is going to stay towards the north. Reason that we are seeing this is the fact that we've got the area of high pressure that's over Mexico right now, really creating that ridge that's over Southern California. So it keeps us dry, keeps our temperatures above the seasonal average, but the ridge really going to start to weaken as we head into our Tuesday. This will flatten out and allow for the next systems to kind of make their way into California. It doesn't change temperatures too much for the coast, though. Here's what we'll be expecting as we head into today with sunny skies as we head into the afternoon. 74 degrees for today. That puts us above the seasonal average of 69 for this time of year. Temperatures will cool to 71 degrees by Wednesday. Inland will be at 84 degrees for us this afternoon. That keeps us above our seasonal average of 78 for this time of year for our inland valleys, and we'll stick with the 80s all week long. Dry conditions. Tuesday and Wednesday we have a possibility of our winds picking up once again, especially for our mountains in the deserts. Get a little gusty out there, over 25 miles per hour.
I wish we could get a little bit of rain.
Just a little bit would be nice, wouldn't it?
All right, I've been doing some research here.
Okay, here we go.
The first hurricane named was in the 50s, named Abel. And they had like weird names for a couple years, like dog and no, like strange, just like weird words. And then from 1953 to 1978, they were only named after women.
Really?
I like that.
Why do you think that was?
Are you trying to say we're a little crazy?
Hey, I didn't say anything. I'm just asking. I was just posing a question. You can go from there.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. If you missed out on all the hidden
right
cash
now,
fun this week, you still have a chance. When the local man who's giving back through social media plans to hide more money around San Diego today.
Find some cash yourself.
Here you go.
And for the first time, we're hearing from the last person who saw the McStay family alive. The call he says he wished he took.
And a private plane bursts into flames during takeoff in Massachusetts. The tragic new details that we've learned overnight. And you can get breaking news as it happens anytime. Just follow us on Twitter. Our handle @10News. You're watching 10 News This Morning, San Diego's news source. We'll have much more after the break.
All right, thanks for being with us. How about that fog? That's a Coronado Bridge there in the background. You know, the haze isn't so bad, though, for all the folks getting ready to get started in Balboa Park with the Rock and Roll Marathon. Need things to be a little cool when you're getting started there. Should be a nice day. It's going to clear up eventually. The time right now, 6:13.
All right, well, San Diegans will once again get the chance to snatch up some cash today thanks to a generous cash dropper. Now, a local man is expected to make a cash drop sometime today in San Diego County. The clues are posted on Facebook and Twitter by SD Cash Stash. Now, yesterday, hundreds of people flooded Hermosa Beach after the anonymous man with the Twitter handle @HiddenCash tweeted that he hid money there. Now, he tucked the cash into 36 plastic Angry Bird heads like this one, and then he hid them in the sand. So keep a lookout for those kinds of things, right?
That's something you always say you would do if you won the lottery or something. You do something cool like this.
Yeah, you do something cool like that. I
Anonymous.
think I would.
Yeah, pretty cool. All right, this morning we're hearing from the man who was the last person to see the McStay family alive. The Fallbrook family of 4, Joseph, Summer, and their 2 sons, had been missing for 4 years when their remains were found buried in a shallow grave in the Mojave Desert in November. Joseph's business partner, Chase Merritt, has never talked publicly about the day he met with Joseph at a Chick-fil-A. Now, after that lunch, they spoke on the phone a handful more times, but when Merritt's phone rang later that night, he says he saw it was Joseph calling and didn't answer.
I was tired.
Do you regret not picking up that call?
Hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah, the call was made 41 minutes after a neighbor's security camera captured the McStay's car leaving their home. A call Merritt says was a missed opportunity. The San Bernardino Sheriff's Department is still investigating the case as a homicide.
Well, hundreds of kids are going home hungry from school every day. Their parents say it's because they're not allowed to eat what's on the cafeteria menu. 10 News reporter Joe Little discovered the push from the local Muslim community for a more religious diet.
They serve thousands of meals a day, and those meals have gotten considerably healthier in recent years. Yet hundreds of kids aren't eating, even though the meals are free.
Kids end up leaving the house hungry and coming back home hungry.
Bilal Muya hopes to change that.
I have 3 kids in the school right now.
The Somali immigrant, who works at Valley Center Farm, is Muslim. So are his kids. As such, they can only eat foods that are halal.
Halal is a permissible food you can eat.
Basically, halal food is a type of meat that has been slaughtered religiously.
It's all organic and healthier, but it's never pork.
So we don't process it and we don't package it.
But it's not offered at schools in poorer communities where families depend on free school lunches.
That's a major concern.
Muya leads a group called the Food Justice Momentum Team. They've already met with the San Diego Unified School District about a pilot program in the City Heights area where there's a larger concentration of Muslim students.
Make those kids perform well in school and be happy.
The owners of the Mideast Market say the no pork menu would be better for all the students, not just Muslims.
Christians, Jews alike, they all agree that pork in general is just a very unhealthy product.
They all think like having halal food is a really good option.
An option that's just not available in San Diego schools just yet. Joe Little, 10 News.
All right, well, right now, a live look at the Soledad Cross, where this afternoon, dozens of motorcyclists will gather to honor a couple who was murdered in Bay Park about 5 years ago. Carol and Barry Sandberg were found dead inside their home in 2009. Now, the killers also stole Barry's Harley Davidson. So family and friends will honor the couple with a memorial ride today, leaving for Mount Soledad at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Meanwhile, Crime Stoppers is offering more than $50,000 to anyone who can help solve this crime. Call the number on your screen if you have any information.
A rich tradition in the South Bay could be going away. The mariachi program at Southwest High School now performs all over San Diego County, but music teacher Keith Ballard says the classes are in jeopardy. He says cutbacks and new policies are making it impossible for students to take their regular classes and participate in mariachi. Ballard blames the school's principal for this.
Set a course that will kill the music programs at Southwest High School. Basically, the system was set up for a slow death.
Principal Lee Romero tells us he cut mariachi classes from 5 to 3 because students were more interested in drama and photography. Now Ballard is meeting with the superintendent to make sure the program stays open.
Well, a report blasting the Border Patrol's use of force that the agency tried to keep secret since last year was finally released this week. Now, the report by the Police Executive Research Forum says that agents shouldn't use deadly force against people throwing objects that are not capable of causing serious injury or death. Now, it also says CBP should make changes that restrict agents from shooting at vehicles. Now, advocates for transparency along the border are calling the report a step in the right direction. Now, the agency has not returned our calls for comment.
A new video is giving us a look at what the iPhone 6 may look like. A French website, nowhereelse.fr, posted this video of a dummy handset. It claims the iPhone 6 will have a 4.7-inch screen and launch in August. Then another version with a larger screen, 5.5 inches, will launch a month later. Apple hasn't responded to any of these claims.
Well, dancers, singers, and comedians duked it out last night at the Mira Mesa's Got Talent competition.
Well, MJ.
There you go. Our very own Robert Santos and Melissa Messia emceed the event at Mira Mesa High School. 10 News reporter Joe Little was a judge alongside Miss Mira Mesa and DJ Happy. Well, all the proceeds from tonight's event will go toward the Mira Mesa Theater Guild.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Lots of talent in our community.
I trust Joe's judgment, too, because he's pretty talented himself.
Ashlee?
What?
That was
really?
awesome.
Okay, let's talk weather. Let's move on and get out of this situation. Live look right now. This is our Del Mar sky cam. You can see the low clouds that are out there, the haze that is out there along the coast as well. A little bit of some patchy fog. Temperature-wise, it's not too bad. It's a great start to our day. 64 in San Diego, 60 in Oceanside right now, 59 in Chula Vista. We've got 56 in Poway, 59 for you in Alpine, 61 for you in Julia. And you've got clear skies up in our mountains. Lots of sunshine as sun's come up this morning. Temperatures for us this afternoon. Clouds clear out after 10 a.m. They'll kind of hug just off the coast later on in the afternoon, but still sunshine, so a good day to head out to the beach. 74 for San Diego, 75 for Oceanside. We'll see 78 for Chula Vista. We'll have 83 for Poway today, 80 once again for us in Julian this afternoon. And temperatures out in the deserts will remain in the triple digits, ranging between about 102 to 106. We'll take a look at your day planner coming up.
All right, Ashlee, well, returning to D-Day, the trip planned by two survivors to remember a moment that changed the course of history 70 years ago.
And the site of the deadly mudslide reopened, the emotional ceremony to honor the dozens who were killed in Washington. You're watching 10 News This Morning. The time right now, 6:21. Thanks so much for being with us.
Welcome back. 6:23. A bear spotted wandering the streets of a Wisconsin town is now off the street. Someone captured video, though, of the bear roaming around. Animal control officers were able to tranquilize it safely and were able to move it. Officers say no one was in danger.
It was a day that changed history. June 6th, 1944, simply known as D-Day. 10 News military reporter Bob Lawrence spoke with two survivors who not only remember, but plan to go back for the 70th anniversary.
Looking as it did 70 years ago, a restored C-47 cargo plane took off last week to take part in the anniversary. It's a plane 90-year-old Bill Galbraith of Murrieta is very familiar with. He was a paratrooper with the 101st Airborne. Galbraith went into occupied France ahead of the invasion and had an unwelcome reception.
The Germans were sitting there waiting for us, and they took almost half our company the very first day.
On D-Day 1944, Max Gurney of La Jolla was a 19-year-old who went through a landing of his own 6 months earlier in Italy.
A bold, large-scale landing on the Nazi-held coast near Anzio.
Both will be honored for the 70th anniversary. And asked to reflect back, both had similar thoughts.
I don't know how we ever took it because we had to cover all the open ground. The Germans were dug in and had loads of ammunition.
Even today I'm surprised that we won the war, because the enemy was so prepared.
Now 93, Gurney has been back before. The French, he said, have not forgotten, which is not quite the experience he's had here.
This morning I had to tell somebody on the telephone I'm going away on D-Day. And she asked me, what is D-Day?
It was simply only the tipping point for the war in Europe. Both Galbraith and Gurney will be on hand, as will that restored C-47 cargo plane, which crossed the ocean and arrived in Europe this week. Bob Lawrence, 10 News.
It's about as special as it gets right there. President Obama, as well as the President of France, Russia, and Queen Elizabeth plan to attend the ceremony.
Well, San Francisco hopes that a prime piece of real estate will stop the official Star Wars museum from moving to a different city. Now, film icon George Lucas wants to build a $700 million museum for Star Wars memorabilia. Now, Chicago is trying to lure Lucas to build there. San Francisco is now offering a large lot next to the Bay Bridge. Now, the land was originally meant to be the site of a new arena for the Golden State Warriors. I don't know if you've ever seen, I know there are a lot of, Trekkies and Star Wars lovers and things like that, but there's this huge, museum that's in Seattle, and it's all...
For Star Wars?
Yeah, it's all
I love that stuff. I'm a big sci-fi guy. I don't know why San Diego is not in the pool, though. Come on. We want it down here. We've got Comic-Con, so, people would already be going to it.
Absolutely.
From that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. All right.
Seems normal to me.
Said.
Yeah, well, most of the runners in today's rock and roll marathon will take tomorrow as a rest day, but not this guy. The ambitious plans that this athlete has right after he crosses the finish line today.
And here's a live look at the start line right now, where runners just took off. How this massive event could impact your day, whether you're running or not. You're watching 10 News This Morning. We'll see you after the break.
Live from the Scripps Studios, this is San Diego's news source, 10 News.
Right now on 10 News This Morning, a live look from 6th and Quinn Streets as thousands just took off on the Rock and Roll Marathon. We have complete coverage, including the local celebrity taking part, and a look at what roads you'll need to avoid.
And a fiery crash, tragic new information coming to light overnight after a private plane went off the runway in Massachusetts.
Plus the fight between two brothers that landed one in the hospital and the other behind bars. But first, let's go to Ashlee DeMartino in the 10 News Pinpoint Weather Center, who's got a pleasant marathon forecast ahead of us.
Hey, it's definitely very pleasant for all the runners out there because we're cool and we're under those cloudy skies this morning. We've been talking about it all morning long. The clouds that are out there, the patchy fog and the haze. We are seeing reduced visibility in many areas because of the patchy fog. And when we look at the 10 News Pinpoint Skycam from Poway, this perspective shows you that fog that has dropped in a lot of our western valleys for us this morning. So that's what we're concerned with, is those areas of the patchy fog. Temperature-wise, we're at 55 in Poway right now. Most of us waking up with our temperatures in the low 60s to start off the morning for us. We are going to see all of this lifting out, burning off, moving off the coast with those low clouds. 74 degrees expected along the coast for us today under mostly sunny skies. Sunny skies, though, for our inland, where we're going to see our temperatures at 84 degrees for us this afternoon. So temperatures are staying above the seasonal average. We're staying nice and warm, but we have a slight change in our weather pattern for the mid part of the week. We'll take a look at that coming up in your 7-day forecast.
All right, Ashley, thanks. 15 minutes ago, runners took off at the Rock and Roll Marathon. 10 News reporter Hannah Mullins live at the start in Balboa Park. And Hannah, some incredible stories of people running this year.
I'm actually joined by Meb Kufleski, who won the Boston Marathon. Now, you've taken a national stage. How does it feel to be such a big deal right now?
I'm just happy to be in beautiful San Diego. It's like such a good honor to win the Boston Marathon as an American first in 31 years. And the aftermath has been wonderful, and I feel blessed to have this opportunity.
It's wonderful. And you're going to be the pace setter for the half marathon. How does it feel to not actually be racing, though?
Well, I'm not racing, but I'm helping people achieve their goals to break an hour and a half for the half marathon, which is about 6:57, 7-minute pace. I'm happy to do that.
Any other goals for you race-wise?
Hopefully in November, New York, but right now I'm just having fun and until I get seriously training.
All right, Meb, thanks so much. And you've had a big supporter in our Mayor Kevin Faulconer. Tell us, how are you feeling about your city right now?
Oh, it's great. It's great to be here with Meb to talk about a person in his element here. So many folks are proud of him and what he's done. It's a great day for San Diego. I mean, we have thousands of San Diegans out here today, obviously, but we also have people from all over the country, and I think 40 countries from throughout the world coming here for this race, having a great time.
Any standout stories to you?
You know what? I've just been the president out there and been here this morning talking to people. Just and Meb knows this firsthand. Just the dedication and the hours and hours of training. A lot of people out here doing their first marathon that they've ever done. So you can see the excitement, and it's just great to see.
All right, Mayor Faulconer and Meb, thank you so much. Have a great day. Now that full marathon is underway. The half marathon should be kicking off in any minute. It's going to end by Petco Park. We're live at Balboa Park. Hannah Mullins, 10 News.
All right, well, there are several major closures that you need to know about today. The biggest, the northbound 163 is shut down from A Street to Friars Road. Also, several on and off ramps on the 5, the 8, and the 805 are closed off. Now, surface streets including 6th Avenue, Adams, University, El Cajon Boulevard, and several roads in and around Balboa Park are also going to be impacted by the Rock and Roll Marathon. Now, for a full list of those closures, you can go to 10news.com and click on that red TV tab.
And how about this? One runner at today's Rock and Roll Marathon, you see him there. He's not going to be taking off any time after the race. Erwin Castillo got a notice at work asking if he wanted to bike 545 miles to raise awareness and funds for AIDS research, but realized it was the same day as the marathon. So Erwin said, well, what else to do except for both? So immediately after the run, he will hop on a plane to San Jose to get ready for the week-long trek.
For those that can't walk, those that can't run, those that can't bike, I thought I'd take it upon myself to say, I want to inspire you guys to go out there and do something, give back to the community.
He's running the half marathon that takes off just a few minutes ago. So if he completes it in 2 hours, they said that will give him just enough time to make his flight. So
there you go.
There's some inspiration at least to run quickly.
We're so lazy.
You can stay connected to any developments with today's marathon through our free mobile app. Just go to your app store and search 10 News.
Well, new developments overnight in the deadly plane crash at a Massachusetts airfield. Now, officials at Hanscom Airfield announced overnight that all 7 people aboard that small private plane were killed after it ran off the runway and burst into flames. Now, the airport is shut down this morning while authorities investigate. The plane was headed to Atlantic City. The FAA has not yet released the cause of that crash.
One man is in the hospital this morning and his brother is in jail. This is after a fight and a stabbing. Police cuffed the younger brother, put him in the back of a cop car. You see him there, still pretty upset. It happened just after midnight in North Park on Illinois Avenue near 44th Street. The 19-year-old had some cuts on his face, but it was his older brother who had stab wounds on his face and torso. It's still not clear what started this sibling rivalry, this fight here. The 19-year-old facing charges this morning of assault with a deadly weapon.
Well, today, U.S. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel met with American military commanders in Afghanistan. Now, this is the first stop of a several-day trip in which Hagel plans to talk to commanders about withdrawal of 10,000 troops by the end of the year. Now, he discussed the progress that Afghan forces are making and whether they would be able to function with just about 1,000 U.S. troops in the country. Now, Hagel will also plan to attend a NATO meeting later this week.
We checked overnight, and investigators are still trying to figure out what caused this fire behind a commercial building in San Ysidro. In the pictures you can see, 10 News viewers sent them in. That's thick black smoke pouring from the building there. The fire started just after 11:30 yesterday. A large pile of debris was still smoldering when our cameras got on scene. A witness said that he saw chemicals and tile burning near a family member's home just before that larger fire.
Well, it was an emotional ceremony as part of the Washington State Highway covered by debris during a deadly mudslide reopened. Now, the people in the community of Oso held a moment of silence and then walked the stretch of road in remembrance of the 42 people killed in that March disaster. Now, the reopening of the area was seen as a symbolic step after 2 months of recovery from the destruction.
Even as we're all walking, what people don't get to see is the real tragedy behind this berm. I mean, what Mother Nature is really capable of doing, and with no notice.
Well, right now, only one lane of the highway is officially back open. The whole road should open back up in October after it's rebuilt.
All right, check him out. This 19-year-old MIT student has set out to become the youngest person to fly around the world solo. And we talked to Matt Guthmiller live before he took off from Gillespie Field in El Cajon yesterday morning. Today, he's hanging out with some of his family members in South Dakota before he heads out again tomorrow. 10 News reporter Kristin Phillips touched base with the young pilot after his first leg of the trip.
19-year-old Matt Guthmiller set out from Gillespie Field on the trip of a lifetime Saturday in his 1981 Beechcraft A36 Bonanza, attempting to set a world record. He's trying to become the youngest person to fly solo around the world. He was supposed to leave from Gillespie Field on Wednesday, but didn't have all the paperwork needed from the FAA. Now, though, he's been given the green light to take to the skies.
It's about 29,000 miles. I think it's 25 stops in 15 or 20 countries, something like that, and 5 continents. Take a little over a month, about 160 hours of flying time total. So I got 9 hours down, 150 to go.
Guthmiller flew into his hometown of Aberdeen, South Dakota to be with family Saturday.
Nice long, about 9-hour flight. Everything went pretty well. Everything worked right. A little bumpy and hot the first couple hours flying over the desert and the mountains.
Guthmiller will spend the next couple days at home in South Dakota. It's his first time back home since Christmas, he says, after attending MIT for school and spending a couple days in San Diego before flying out Saturday. By journey's end, Matt will have set a Guinness World Record if all goes as planned.
I hope that someone else will see this and realize that they can go out and do something, if not go fly solo around the world, something else really big.
Kristin Phillips, 10 News.
Well, New Yorkers were treated to a rare spectacle yesterday. Take a look at this. Now, this site is known as Manhattanhenge. There are some of the photos from Twitter overnight. Looks beautiful. It's only seen twice a year in May and July when the setting sun just aligns perfectly with the east and the west streets.
Wow, I mean, those are beautiful. Look at that shot.
It is. It's a beautiful shot.
And when you see them on Twitter and Instagram too, these are just shots by people taken on their cell phones or something like that. This is stuff that.
And you can just imagine what it looks like in person too.
Or if a professional had some photos, I'd like to Google some of those. Man,
but you know what? Cool. Nothing beats the weather here. The sun sets, the sun rises. I mean, we've got the best weather in the country.
I'm ready for the sun to show up today, though. How about that?
It's coming. It is coming. I know this morning it's a little dreary out there to start off the day. June gloom, first day of June, and it's really intense for us. This is usually the cloudiest month for us is June here in San Diego because we have these low clouds to start off our mornings. 10 News Pinpoint Skycam. This is Mount Woodson looking to the southwest, and you can see the blanket and just how thick it is and how it's really increased and kind of pushed a little bit more towards the east just in the past 30 minutes for us. This is what it looks like along the coast where we have that haze and the areas of the patchy fog that's out there as well. That also stretches into some of our western valleys out there. So visibility in some areas right now reduced to 1 mile to about a half a mile in some areas. So if you're hitting the roadways, do be careful out there. Temperature-wise, we're at 64 degrees right now in San Diego. We have 60 in Alpine, 61 for you in Oceanside. Temperature of 61 for Julian right now. Desert starting off in the 70s for us this morning. 10 News Pinpoint Futurecast. This is what it looks like right now. So you can see that we are seeing it really hugging the coast, pushing a little bit inland. But as we move towards the rest of the morning, by the time that we head into the 9 o'clock hour, between 9 and 10, that's when we're really going to see just a little bit of haze that will probably stretch, I would guess, from La Jolla down through Point Loma and Coronado. By the time that we head into 11 o'clock and noon for you, it's all going to be out of the area. We're going to see lots of sunshine heading into mid-afternoon and the early part of the evening for us, and then we'll see this push back in our overnight hours. Temperatures for us today, we're under the influence of high pressure, dry southwest flow, so we have 74 expected for today along the coast. That's exactly what we hit yesterday and the day before. 73 to start off the week, 75 to end the week for us along the coast. Today, inland, warmer than that,
We're going to be at 84 degrees for this afternoon. We'll start off the week at 82. We'll end the week at 84. So temperatures kind of just cooling down and warming right back up, making it a little perfect U there.
Yeah, when that marine layer burns off early, I mean, it was just gorgeous at the beaches yesterday.
It is, and it's going to be another great day to be out there.
Yeah, very cool.
All right. Thanks,
Ash.
Well, people who donated thousands of dollars for a tribute to Junior Seau never saw the statue that was promised and never got their money back. Team 10 tracks down the person who collected all of those donations to figure out exactly where all that money went.
In this video, a huge hit on 10news.com this week, 2 cops paying it forward. The veterans' touching story that officers say made them so happy they got to stop and help.
Hey, good morning. Coming up on GMA, breaking overnight, the incredible story of the exchange that's sending an American soldier back to the U.S. after 5 years in captivity in Afghanistan. The price of his freedom, 5 Guantanamo Bay prisoners believed to be Taliban leaders. We'll go inside the deal that will bring Sergeant Bo Bergdahl back home. And on a much lighter note, could one of Hollywood's most famous faces be switching careers soon? Why some are saying George Clooney might be ready to move from the silver screen to the political stage. We know he's getting married soon, maybe a lot of changes coming up in his life. We're going to get to that story and much more straight ahead on Good Morning America.
Good Sunday morning to you. You're watching 10 News this morning, and you're taking a live look at the start of the Rock and Roll Half Marathon. At this point, you can see all the participants getting ready to go. They're anxious and so on. We have about 30,000 runners who are participating today. Oh, and there they go. The Rock and Roll Half Marathon. Look at that. 30,000 runners from 40 different countries flooding into downtown San Diego. And of course, that's going to affect our roadways today. Some major closures you need to know about. So for a full list of those closures, you can go to 10news.com and click on the red TV tab. And of course, we will have an update on that in just 10 minutes.
All right. I knew this morning, gay couples in Illinois will be able to get married for the first time. The state's governor signed the bill in last year. It goes into effect today, though. Some Illinois state clerks plan to issue marriage licenses this morning. Illinois is the 16th state to make same-sex marriage legal.
Well, it was a project aimed at raising money to bring Junior Seau statue to Oceanside until it failed about 2 years ago. Now this week, Team 10 learned some donors are still waiting for a refund. Team 10 troubleshooter Kristin contacted the man who collected thousands of dollars.
If something comes up about Junior, and then it makes me think, well, you know, we could have had that.
Debbie Bitker thought a statue of Junior Seau was a touching way to remember him.
He was from Oceanside, and what better place to have this wonderful statue this guy talked of than here.
She saw Michael Walters on 10 News in August of 2012. Walters said he was a former neighbor of Seau who started the statue fund. People could purchase bricks to surround the statue for $100.
I really don't think he knew what he meant to us.
Bitker didn't give her money right away.
I was waiting. I just held off, and I wanted to see how it was coming along.
But plenty of people did. Jason Kohick saw the Facebook page from his home in Sacramento and donated $99. He talked to Team 10 over the phone.
Growing up in Oceanside, we idolized Junior Seau and all the success that he had.
This month marks the 2nd anniversary of Seau's death. Bitker thought it was time to donate. She checked the group's Facebook page and website, and both were gone. At one point, Walter said he had raised $8,000. He said the city was on board and plans were drawn up. Then Walters sent an email to donors in July of 2013. He said the Seau family wanted the project on hold.
He gave everyone the opportunity. If they wanted a full refund, they could have received it. Or if they wanted to, leave the faith in the project that it would somehow or someday turn around, then you could also do that.
Kohick said there was a third option.
If the project never went forward, then they would put that money to Club 55.
Club 55 was a gym Junior Seau ran near the Boys and Girls Club. That update was a year ago. Kohick said he hasn't heard anything since. Team 10 checked and the gym is closed. I called Walters, who said he is still giving out refunds, many from his own pocket. He couldn't give me exact figures of how much he paid back, but said he will pay back anyone who contacts him. Kohick really wanted his money to go to the statue or to the club, but now he said he'd like it back.
Because, I didn't donate my money for nothing.
I'm Team 10 troubleshooter Kristin Severance.
Families devastated by the recent wildfires in San Diego County gave first responders a huge thank you yesterday. The support for firefighters and police in Carlsbad was enormous. This was This wall here was filled with thank you messages from the community members who were affected by the fires. Families in San Marcos gathered at Mission Hills High School to write messages on the banner you see there.
We appreciate the support.
Yeah.
Thanks. Glad that you guys have somewhere to go home to.
San Marcos' new fire chief, who was sworn in as chief the night before the Cocos fire, was also there to thank his staff for their hard work.
Well, take a look at this. These two San Diego police officers are being commended for going above the call of duty. Now, they stopped their patrol car on Claremont Mesa Boulevard on Memorial Day weekend when they saw a disabled veteran with a broken down scooter. Officers Milo Shields and Eric Cooper then pushed Gil LaRock and his scooter 2 miles to LaRock's home.
The least I could do was push him. That's the least I can do. He's sacrificed and given so much to this country, and that's the way I felt about it.
Wow.
Well, I think that's great. Well, LaRock suffered disabling injuries in Vietnam. He cares for his 90-year-old father, who is a Pearl Harbor survivor, and he was just thankful for the officer's help.
His father
We're thankful too.
A Pearl Harbor survivor.
I know.
And they say that they were going to just drive him home, but they didn't want to leave his scooter there, so they pushed it 2 miles.
Pushed it 2 miles.
Cool story.
Awesome.
All right, Google is unveiling its fleet of self-driving cars. This is amazing. The company released this video a few days ago. You can see the cars. They're tiny. And since people aren't driving, how about this? They have no steering wheels, no gas pedal, no brake pedal. Instead, there's just buttons for go and stop. Man, Google had tested the technologies on existing cars, but this is the first one the company actually built itself. And here's another reason to drink red wine, in case you needed one.
Nope.
Has some cavity-fighting powers, apparently.
There you go.
Every year they come up with something that tells you why you should drink more wine. Apparently it helps remove bacteria from your teeth. The bacteria produces acid, which damages teeth over time. The discovery could lead to the development of natural products to ward off dental disease.
Nothing like corrosion.
Drink another glass.
Yeah, there you go.
Just in time for summer, a company called Osmosis Skincare has developed an ingestible sunscreen. Apparently, it provides SPF 30 protection by making water molecules beneath the skin vibrate to cancel out harmful rays. The company says approximately 98% of people will be protected by this technology, at least they hope so. And the healthier their immune system, the longer a person can stay in the sun. Though I'm just picturing people walking around like this.
No, it doesn't work that
vibrating
way.
like that.
I literally take a
getting
sunscreen.
a great tan.
I ingest one. There's also one that you ingest, and then you can put it all over. I'm a sunshine freak when it comes to things like that.
I'm just happy
If
that
you
they
go
came out with a
sunscreen.
spray. I'm gonna stick with that.
All right. And you can actually see the monitor below us. Oh, no, you can't anymore, but
no.
We've got the marathon in there.
Yeah,
and we've got a great forecast for it, don't we?
Rewind on your DVRs. You can check it out.
Half marathon just kicking off. We've got the clouds out there this morning. High pressure, the dominant weather factor for us as we head through at least the next 24 hours because, as you can see, it's creating a nice bridge over Southern California. Look at this plume of dry air, that southwest flow that's just really ushering right into our area. That is going to keep our temperatures today and tomorrow definitely above the seasonal average before a few changes that come our way for Tuesday. So for this afternoon, mostly sunny conditions once we lift out these morning clouds and the fog that's out there. 74 is what we'll see as a high today in San Diego, 75 at Oceanside, 78 for Chula Vista. We will see a temperature of 83 for Poway, 80 for Julian, and 104 expected for Borrego Springs. We'll take another look at your 7-day forecast coming up.
All right, Ashley. Well, next we'll get you caught up with the news you need to know to start your day.
Yeah, you're watching 10 News this morning, San Diego's news source.
6:54. Welcome back. Time now for the news you need to know.
Yeah, we have 10 News reporter Hannah Mullins live at Balboa Park with a big rock and roll marathon and half marathon just kicked off.
This right here is one of the last waves of about 30,000 runners. A huge chunk of San Diego has been transformed into a track for San Diegans and a stage for 40 fans. Meb Kefleski, who won the Boston Marathon, is the person setting the pace. Among some of the inspirational runners is a 90-year-old cancer survivor and a group of injured veterans. Proceeds go to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. We're live at Balboa Park. Hannah Mullins, 10 News.
Well, the search is on for a 74-year-old man with dementia who walked away from his nursing home. Richard Newsom left the Lifehouse San Diego Healthcare Center around 10:30 yesterday morning. He had no money, no cell phone, just the clothes on his back. Now, his family said Richard had only been there a week and that he was supposed to be in a secured area because of his condition.
Waking up this morning to low clouds, patchy fog that's out there as well. Mount Woodson shows you how it's really kind of just right over the entire part of the county. We are going to see sunshine though, because above that there are no clouds. 74 expected in San Diego today. That puts us above our seasonal average of 69 for this time of year. Inland's going to be nice and warm. Temperatures are going to be in the 80s for us as we head throughout the rest of the week. And we are going to be seeing our temperatures along the coast sitting in the 70s all week long.
And Good Morning America starts in just minutes. Battle House danger, how another inflatable toy went airborne and what happened to the two kids who were trapped inside.
Those are always scary. And coming up on 10 News at 8, how a porta potty ended up on the highway this morning and the damage it did to a car.
Plus hidden cash, where San Diegans can try and grab some cash that's being left behind by a generous local man. Now the news continues. GMA is next with all of your national news.
Yeah, in 10 News, we'll be back with a local news update in about 30 minutes. We leave you with this nice live look of, this is the half marathon getting underway there. We saw Meb taking off just a second ago, keeping pace. I'm sure he can run a 6:30 or 7-minute miles. They said he's going to run in his sleep, no problem.
And we have to keep in mind that all the road closures that are going on. Go to 10news.com or join us at 8 a.m.
See you back here in a bit.